Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into a masterclass on transforming you from a passive GitHub Copilot user into an absolute power user. If you've just been using Copilot as a glorified autocomplete, you're leaving a massive amount of value on the table. Not to mention, you might be exposing your codebase to some pretty significant risks. So today, we're going to dig into the data, the documentation, and the latest research to figure out exactly how to push this incredible tool to its absolute limit. We've got a packed agenda today. We'll be hitting 1. The productivity promise, 2. The security risks, 3. Setting AI boundaries, 4. Advanced debugging tools, 5. Shortcuts for faster coding, and finally, 6. Best practices for mastery. Let's get right into it. Starting off with Section 1, the productivity promise, accelerating your development workflow. To really appreciate where we are, just look at how ridiculously fast Copilot has evolved. We went from those old, clunky, pre-2021 template-based generators right into the 2021 launch of Copilot powered by OpenAI's Codex. I mean, that model alone trained on 159 gigabytes of Python code from 54 million repos. Fast forward through the 2023 vulnerability prevention updates, and today, we're working with an eager, lightning-fast junior dev powered by the incredibly advanced GPT-4o model. It's a total game changer. And if you want to know if it actually works, get this. An academic study tracking 95 professional programmers found that developers completed their tasks an astonishing 55.8% faster using Copilot compared to coding completely from scratch. We aren't talking about a tiny little efficiency bump here. We're talking about literally slicing your development time in half. That is a paradigm-shifting metric for any engineering team trying to boost their velocity. But hey, context is everything, right? The research makes it super clear. Copilot is an absolute lifesaver when you're churning out simple boilerplate code. It can spin up basic CRUD operations in seconds. But when it comes to complex domain logic or, say, highly intricate smart contracts, that's where you absolutely need heavy hands-on supervision. It's brilliant at the mundane stuff, which frees up your brain power for the genuinely tough architectural challenges. Looking at these common use cases, you can see experienced devs are clawing back huge chunks of time by automating the routine stuff. Think about it, writing unit tests, drafting standard database queries, or doing that initial pass of code refactoring. Copilot just handles it. And surveys actually back this up, showing that 87% of developers reported expending way less mental effort on repetitive tasks thanks to the tool. But it isn't all sunshine and rainbows. Let's pivot to Section 2, the security risks, the danger of AI generation. Time for a reality check. Researchers put Copilot through the ringer, testing it across 89 scenarios mapped directly to MITRE's top 25 most dangerous software weaknesses. And the results? A terrifying 44% of the code generated contains security issues. We're talking hard-coded credentials, improper input validation, the whole 9 yards. If you're just blindly hitting tab and accepting every suggestion, it's practically a coin flip on whether you're injecting a known vulnerability into your app. And this risk spans across different languages too. An empirical study analyzing snippets pulled from real GitHub projects found that 32.8% of Python snippets and 24.5% of JavaScript snippets had security issues. These covered 38 different common weakness enumerations, even nasty stuff like OS command injection. It's a pretty stark reminder that just because a tool is fast and popular doesn't mean it's inherently secure. The core issue here is that AI models are essentially mirrors. They can easily propagate code smells and vulnerabilities straight from their training data into your lap. Like the security eval dataset research highlights, if the open source code the AI learned from was full of bad practices, the AI is just going to confidently replicate those bad practices. The machine doesn't magically know better. It's just predicting the most likely next line of text. So how do we fix it? That brings us to Section 3, setting AI boundaries, protecting sensitive data. You have to actively manage this AI apprentice. You need to establish firm boundaries by excluding sensitive files from its context window entirely. It's super simple to do in your GitHub repo settings. Just head to Settings, drop down to Code and Automation, hit Copilot, and click Content Exclusion. From there, you tell Copilot exactly which files it is strictly forbidden from looking at. Setting this up using basic YAML formatting explicitly blocks Copilot from snooping around your environment variables, secrets, or internal scripts. By using wildcards, you can universally block all .env files or anything ending in secrets.json across the entire repository. If you're an enterprise user, this step is absolutely non-negotiable for protecting your data privacy. Let's shift gears to Section 4, Advanced Debugging Tools, Resolving Issues with Copilot. Did you know Copilot can basically configure its own debugging setup? Instead of digging through Stack Overflow to figure out how to configure your launch.json file, you can just pop open the chat view with Control-Alt-I, type the /command start debugging, and Copilot will literally walk you through customizing the exact launch config for your specific framework. It's incredibly slick. And here is a serious, everyday superpower. Let's speed things up even more with Section 5, Shortcuts for Faster Coding, Speeding Up Your Workflow. Okay, seriously, screenshot this right now. If you want to be a power user, these keyboard shortcuts are your bread and butter. Sure, everybody knows Tab accepts a suggestion, but the real pro move is cycling through suggestions. Holding Alt or Option on a Mac and hitting the bracket keys lets you rapidly toggle through the different alternatives Copilot is generating in the background. Instead of deleting and retyping your prompt, just cycle through until you find the exact logic you need. Finally, we arrive at Section 6, Best Practices for Mastery. Elevating your Copilot game. As the academic research heavily emphasizes, at the end of the day, Copilot is an assistant, not an all-knowing oracle. Human oversight is your ultimate safety net. Just because the code looks super clean and the syntax is perfect does not mean it's logically sound or secure. You absolutely must keep humans in the loop to validate these AI suggestions. To put all this into practice, here is your playbook. First, always pair Copilot with automated SAST and DAST security testing tools to catch those vulnerabilities we talked about earlier. Second, use Editor Smart Actions. Literally just highlight broken code, right-click, generate code, and hit Fix to solve flagged issues instantly. And lastly, keep a close eye on the matching code licenses. The last thing you want is to accidentally paste copyrighted proprietary code into a commercial build. Researchers also point out that this is about team culture too. You need to establish crystal clear guidelines around data privacy and transparency. Your team needs to know exactly when it's cool to use Copilot, like for boilerplate testing, and when it needs to be totally sidelined, like when you're working with a client's highly confidential algorithm. Being transparent about what is and isn't AI generated just keeps everyone accountable. So I'm going to leave you with this one final provocative question. Now that you've got the playbook, who is really in control of your codebase? Because if you're just blindly accepting suggestions, the AI is definitely managing you. But if you're actively enforcing boundaries, using the advanced debugging tools, flying with those shortcuts, and maintaining rigorous security reviews, well, then you've become the true power user. Thanks for tuning into this explainer, and happy coding.